Well, in just a few minutes, the GOP's top White House hopefuls will begin making their cases for 2016 at the South Carolina Freedom Summit. So what messages are voters looking for, and which candidates should we all keep our eyes on? Let's ask pollster Frank Luntz. He joins us live from Greenville, South Carolina. Great city. My mom's from there. Frank, good to see you this morning. Let's talk about what these candidates are going to be discussing and what voters want. I know they're going to be talking in about 15 minutes starting at 9 o'clock. You say one of the biggest issues, they need to appeal to women.
Yes, and in fact, we did a survey over the week trying to find out for the Fraternal Order of Eagles, one of the great organizations, who is the quintessential mom in America. Democrats chose Michelle Obama, not surprisingly. Republicans were evenly split between Barbara Bush and Laura Bush, but overall the winner was Angelina Jolie. Why? She has nothing to do with politics, so she appealed to everyone. That's a message that these candidates need to take here very seriously. The challenge for Republicans in 2016, how are they going to win the female vote against likely Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton? So I'm going to be listening to the words, phrases, and styles that they employ to reach out specifically to female voters.
I know that South Carolina is a very important state when it comes to the primaries and these elections. Who is it most important for out of all the GOP candidates?
I think the surprise here is going to be former Texas Governor Rick Perry. Now, I've been working through the state over the last couple months, and Perry has a surprising level of support. He spent a lot of time here. He's got significant grassroots here. It's not a name that you hear that often as being one of the front runners, but in South Carolina, Governor Perry is doing quite well. So he's the guy that I'm going to be focused on here in about 2 hours.
What about Marco Rubio? You know, talking about the elections and these candidates, I'm hearing from a lot of people, many like him. They love his story. They love his platform and coming from not much and then rising up in the ranks. But many people are saying it's not his time yet. They see him more as a VP or a number 2 guy. So what does he need to do to appeal to the voters?
Well, each state, and it's important that we remember that South Carolina is the 3rd state in this whole primary calendar, so that it really matters. Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin, is doing quite well in Iowa. There's no front-runner in New Hampshire right now. Here in South Carolina, a candidate like Marco Rubio, and your own Fox News poll has shown it. Since he announced, he's gone up in every survey. And I think the 2 reasons why Rubio has been doing quite well, number 1 is American exceptionalism. He talks with great pride about being American, about his great backstory of his parents coming from Cuba. And second is that he is such a good, positive, effective communicator. And that's exactly what Republicans are so anxious to see. So I'm going to be asking them in a moment, do they want a governor or a senator? And what's more important to them, the candidate's ideology or their ability to defeat Hillary Clinton? Marco Rubio seems to have what they're looking for, but it is so early at this point.
Frank, I know you have a poll as to if the primary were today, who would win. What do your polls say?
So all polls show that Rubio and Walker have the advantage right now, but you can't count out Jeb Bush. He's going to have more money than the top 2 candidates combined, and he's been around for a long time. But Rubio and Walker seem to have struck a positive chord in these early states. And it's not just the message, it's also the messenger. And that's going to be the key. It's their backstory and how they communicate it.
Well, we'll be following you, Frank. I know we'll be seeing you a lot over the next year and a half. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.